Hi friends, so I'm going to show you the steps to how to create a futuristic portrait using Google Draw. So I'm going to share my screen. Now remember, even though we're going to use a selfie, a picture of ourselves, it's not really going to look like us hardly at all. So there's no need to be self-conscious about it. We're literally only using the shape of our face. So we have a basic shape of a head and eyes and stuff like that. So you could really use a picture of anyone, but it looks kind of cool that it looks sort of like us. So just don't get hung up or too self-conscious about the fact that you're using a selfie. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to find a photo of outer space. So you're going to come up here to insert. We usually created gradient backgrounds, but for this project, we're going to use a photo. So come up to insert, image, search the web. All right. This is the last thing that I searched for, so it came up right away. Just type in outer space background. Grab one that you like that one, insert. Stretch out the photo. So it covers the whole thing. Okay, so now that we have our background, we're gonna use our computer's webcam to take a photo. Okay, so you're gonna go up to insert again, image, and then come all the way down to where it says camera at the bottom. Click there. I feel like I have to sneeze. It's gonna be a funny picture. Oh well. Okay, so you just take a photo. Okay, so this is the one I took before. I actually think I like the one I took before, so I'm gonna use that one. Insert. Okay, so don't leave your photo this big or else the picture that you're gonna draw is gonna be super teeny tiny. So you want to stretch out the photo by dragging it diagonally. Don't only drag it this way or else you're gonna look like that and that's gonna end up being a weird photo. So stretch it diagonally, meaning stretching it from the side like this or from the bottom corner. You wanna make it as big as you can, really. Okay, that's good. Remember, you're gonna delete this when you're done tracing it. Okay, so now that I have that, I am going to start tracing. So unlike Jamboard, we don't have the markers and pen tool, but we do have the scribble tool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over to these tools that we have up here. It's right next to the shape tool. It's the line tool. All right. This is where we get all the good stuff. Okay. And we're going to come all the way down to the bottom where it says scribble. Okay. I'm going to start tracing. I'm going to hold it down and start tracing the outline of my head. Doesn't need to be perfect. All right. And so, so you see how it's highlighted or it's selected already because that blue? I'm going to come over here. After your first line, you're going to want to change the line weight and the line color. So I'm going to come up here, line weight, line color. It's just a few doors down from those other tools that we were using down here. Line color, line weight. So I think I'm going to use 4 to make it a little bit thicker. And also remember it's going to be on a space background. So you're not going to want to use black. You're going to want to use like a bright color, like a fluorescent color. So now that you've changed it to a thicker line, I'm going to come over here and pick up bright color. I like green, Okay, so now that is the type of line that you're going to be scribbling. So make a line here, trace my lips. See, I kind of made a mistake. That's okay. Notice that I didn't say self-portrait because this doesn't really need to be a self-portrait. Even though you are using a portrait of your face, I don't want you to get too um, hung up thinking it needs to really look like you. If you want it to really look like you, that's okay too. All right, and see how I'm just tracing my facial features. Okay, so then the next thing, I think I'm gonna do another line over here. Okay, I think I'm gonna do my hat. So if you're wearing a hat, that's okay. If you're wearing a mask, that's okay. If you're wearing big earrings, that's okay. You wanna trace all the stuff, okay? The outer um, lines and the inner lines of all the stuff you have in your photo. Now I'm going to do my neck. Even though I can't see my ear, I think I want to draw an ear in there. Okay, so you see how my hair is like over top of my shirt, over top of my shoulders? If I draw my hair, but then I try to draw my clothes, the clothes are going to cover the hair and it's going to get chopped off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw the clothing next, and then I'm going to put my hair over. Most boys, if you don't have long hair, you won't have this problem. But okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use the polyline tool to create some cool outfit, some futuristic costume or any type of outfit that you want to create. Okay, so I'm done using the scribble tool for all this stuff. Now I'm going to come over and I'm going to go back to that line tool, click down, and I'm going to go to polyline. Click polyline. And I'm going to, remember you click, stretch. Click, stretch. Remember you can create any type of shapes you want. Oh, something happened. Okay, so press escape. Let me start over because that didn't work so well. Okay, see, accidents happen. I'm gonna come over here, go to polyline again, click, because remember the polyline is for making shapes. So it should pop up a certain color if it worked. Like that. Okay, that's what's supposed to happen. And if that doesn't happen, then you just press undo over here. Okay? Or you can highlight it and press delete. Okay, it happens. So now that this is a color, I'm going to, I can change the color to anything I want. Probably some cool gradients. Okay, but before I do that, I think I'm gonna fill up this whole area first and then click on them after and change the colors. So I'm going to create a lot of small shapes that kind of fit together. Kind of gives it a interesting Star Trek look. Superhero costume look. You see how I'm kind of tracing the outline of where I know my shoulder is? Okay, almost done. And I think I'm gonna create some spikes or something like that coming off my shoulders to make it look real spacey. almost done. Click, 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 click. All right, so that looks pretty spacey if you ask me. So now I'm going to click on all of these shapes and I'm going to change the color. So remember, if you want to highlight something, I can't do it now because I'm using the polyline. So I'm going to press escape. You need the select tool. So when I pressed escape, the select tool automatically came up. So I have it right here. But if it doesn't automatically come up, the select tool is right here, this little arrow. Okay, it's the same in Jamboard, the little arrow. Okay, so it has to be selected to be able to change it. Okay, so I'm gonna start over here. Change the color by coming up to the fill color or paint bucket. I'm gonna use a gradient. You can choose any colors you like. I'm gonna use custom. Okay. Do the same thing, gradient. Now I just made that, so I don't have to remake it. I can just click on it. And I've actually already made a bunch of gradients, so maybe I'll just throw in some other ones. So you're just painting. Gotta have patience. Gradient. Okay, I think I see how I'm kind of making them match, creating kind of a pattern. See how they match on both sides. So you can do this however you want, whatever colors you like. Okay, cool. So we're almost done. The last thing I'm gonna do, well, first I'm gonna show you how this is gonna look. Cool, right? So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add some hair and then I'm gonna add some goggles, but I'm gonna show you how to do that in the next video, okay? So finish up with this one. If you need to pause or rewatch any part,